watch myself up on prime time, getting ahead, and I'm even in a few commercials in a commercial break, selling sex. Literally, what y'all know?
I just bought a house, baby. Hey, what's up, people? I hope you were good. I hope you was nice. I hope you was sexy. You don't have to be sexy, but I hope you feel sexy because right now we're doing the sexiest thing you can do in life. What? I just bought a house, baby. And I went the wrong way. But guys, what we're doing here today, we're going to the submerged ruins to get housing. And I'm doing this for more storage, basically for my own pleasure. Basically because I found an awesome song that says I bought a house and I love Little Dicky. I love my little dick. Feel free to take that out of context. But that's what we're doing today. Both of my characters, I'm getting a new house. I actually, I got the, I got the new house bug. So I do have another one with my other character. You can have, I think you can have a house in a town if you have a guild. And I just moved with my main character, and I wanted to get a nice 420 lot on my progression characters, if you will. These are my working class characters. And block 420 here. It's pretty fun over here on Gatara. I do enjoy this housing structure they have here. Guess I'll explain a little bit about houses here before I get into my podcast chats here. We'll just go over how it works generally. It's pretty basic system. But I'll give you guys the rundown here. So basically how houses work, the main benefits of them is you can grow food, you can have a concierge control your messages and your monsters, and you can store things in the house, and obviously you can place things, make it look all pretty and whatnot. Oh yeah, and you can have your monsters roam around, do a little fishing at some houses. I think actually all houses have a body of water by them. I think so. Maybe not the agreed ones. I haven't been to the agreed residential area too much. But yeah, you can do all this stuff at houses. You get 5 choices for different residential areas according to the 5 not starter towns, but main towns where the masters are, right? And once you choose where you want to be, you just pick a lot, and you can buy a housing kit, put a house there, and get started. And you can only buy a house if you've bought the game. If you haven't bought the game, you're capped at level 80, you can't buy a house, all that fun stuff. Right? As soon as you get a regular subscription, I would recommend doing this. If you're a regular player like me, you probably filled up that item bag pretty quick, and you're using your storage a lot, just because there's a lot to pick up in this game. So, I would recommend getting this. It's another 50 storage slots. It's unlimited storage slots basically for housing furniture. I think you can store like 400, but like, there's no way you're gonna have 400 pieces of furniture. Let's be real here. So I think it's a wise investment. It's also pretty cheap for the cheapest house. It's like 5,000. Now you do have to pay like 20,000 to get the lot, right? Usually, or around like that much for a lot. But to get the house, there are plenty of different housing types, and a lot of them are pretty cheap. So don't worry about money. Money comes and goes in this game. As long as you're selling your stuff regularly, you're not going to run into too many big money troubles in my eyes. Also, don't forget to do the daily. It gives you a good 30k every day, which is like crazy good. So here's where we're going to be. Here's our housing spots that I've decided for. We're at the submerged ruins. We got two houses right next to each other. They're very cute. It's 420, blaze up. You know, it's like a good thing. So here's the manager. She's gonna ask us if we want to build here. The answer is obviously yes. And we're gonna go ahead and get to work. I'll build both houses in this episode, and I'll do a little bit of setup with Marl's house. I don't think I'm gonna change Chrono's house too much, just from what it is here. I'll put some stuff outside and whatnot, but it's not gonna change too much. Marl's house, I'll show you guys the setup of it a little bit here, but Chrono's gonna basically stay mostly the same. Mostly the same. Yep. So, while I do my thing, what we're going to talk about today is a little bit ambitious. It may come off as a little bit preachy to some of you guys. This may be something you've heard 1,000,000 times before, but I have my own podcast now, so I have to regurgitate other people's knowledge. I feel like that's the fastest way to grow, you know? You don't learn things that people tell you unless you actually apply them. And me speaking it and teaching it is like me applying that, you know? I can only speak on things that I have utilized to the best of my ability in my life and applied it myself. So allow me to learn you and therefore teach myself. Please. We're going to talk about goals and resolutions. Something that I love talking about at the beginning of the year. I do love talking about it at the beginning of the year because it's a lot of time when people set them. You know? And that's good, right? There's never a bad time to set goals, right? Yeah, of course. But I feel like you should leave yourself open to setting them at any time. Like usually when I like to set goals the most is like October, November-ish, like right before the new year. Cuz that gives me time to like get into my stride into it, and then once the new year starts, I can really I can lock in basically because I've already done the work for 3 months. I'm halfway to that perfect level of competency. Really, you just have to force yourself to do the work at that point. You don't have to like learn new skills or get over that um, competency scale, you know, that horrible thing where you feel like, I'm not good enough. You don't have to get over that. The hump is basically done. So you don't feel like a failure 2 weeks after, you know, the new year starts. And you feel like you have something to sort of give yourself some social armor, if you will. But I want to talk about that fact, that idea of social armor. That, you know, you are better than others because you're working on yourself. That is a false reality. A natural fallacy that a lot of us fall into, honestly. Because you can be blinded by your growth fairly easily. Blinded by your growth and your hubris to think that you are without faults in your self-progression journey or whatever, you know? And everybody has their problems. Of course you have your problems. That's why you're working on them. So you can't look back at where you were or look down at other people and say, you fucking scrub for not working on yourself, you little piece of shit. We must always look with compassion because there's something everyone can teach us. You know, maybe not intentionally, maybe not by their will, but everyone can teach us something. Everyone. I'm not joking with that. I truly believe that. I truly do. Because the way we learn lessons is no longer conventional. You know, it used to be you want to learn a skill, you find someone who can do it in real life, and you become their mentee. Minty fresh. Or you get a mentor. That's the way it used to be. But guys, you do not realize we are all superheroes. We're living in a different time now. With everything that we have, all the tools that we have, we're basically like living in My Hero Academia. Honestly, everyone's got their quirk. Everyone's got their little necessities. Let me explain this. Let me unpack this. In a world where you can learn any skill by yourself, no human input, you can automatically order food or groceries to your house or any house. You can sit on your ass all day and get a job just by talking to someone one time. That's happened to me before too. I applied to maybe like 30, 40 places for a week, over the course of a week. And then the next week, I didn't do jack shit. I was playing video games. I was chanking the hog. I was watching YouTube for a whole week. Sat on my ass. And I got a job. You know? And all you need to do is put your mind to it. You don't even need that crazy amount of effort. And that's the thing. People think their crazy amount of effort automatically equates good work because I put the effort in. No. You should work to get the job done. Not work because you want the recognition. Not on some thirsty shit. Right? But let me get back to reality here and back to really explaining to you, because that was a crazy example, right? But really explaining to you how we are all superheroes. Like with AI, you can make a YouTube video almost automatically. And that's just a recent thing. But there are other things that aren't as recent that just make us so powerful as humans. So powerful even that I believe, and this isn't, end all be all, the end fact of all. I'm not going to say I'm some kind of holy messenger to tell you the truth, but I'm telling you my truth, the only truth that matters. And the only truth that matters right now, because you're watching this video, so you've decided that my truth is absolute in this moment. And I've lost my train of thought. Okay, no, I got it. Basically, we are so powerful in our average state that we have no excuse. We have no excuse. These phones, these supercomputers in our pockets allow us to do Star Trek levels of feats that people could only imagine less than 30 years ago. 30 years ago. It's 2025. People in the 90s and 80s did not have it nearly as convenient. I'm not going to say easy, because life is not easy now. I'm not going to delude you into thinking that. I'm just deluding you into thinking that you can do anything. Because with the tools that we have, it is literally possible to do anything. Anything you want. And there's so much connection. There's so much automatic free mentoring out there that if you are not learning a new skill this year, then you must be a millionaire already. I mean, that's the only reason you're not going to learn a new skill this year. And I think even the millionaires they're trying to learn something new. And that's the main way that we're going to progress in life, guys, is just spending money on education. Whenever you get a bag, just spend it back to learning more, to doing more, to gaining more skills. It's exactly how you become more powerful in this game. Exactly the same way. You want to become more powerful in Dragon Quest X? Easy, man. Get another vocation, grind that shit up to 30. Get all of the natural skills. All the natural skills from that vocation, bring it to your main vocation, you know? And that's exactly how you have to treat life. If we are not investing in ourselves, investing in our brain power, let me give you a pause here on the little chat. We are doing the concierge. I was just looking at this. Um, I'm just looking at all the different pukus. They are so fucking cute, man. I love that race. I think I'm gonna eventually make a puku Kirby one of these days, and have that be the cosplay. But I think I just get a human here. So concierge does a couple things like I was saying before. They're basically just gonna hold down the fort while I'm gone, and they give you little cute little messages that you can write in. So I'll do that. I put on some cute little lyrics from the Rat Beef because I do love the Rat Beef. I do love the Rat Beef. You guys know I'm a Kung Fu Kitty fan. You've realized this. Oh shit! Got my controller. Um, but yeah, investing in your knowledge, best investment you're gonna make. I'm investing in my knowledge every day, grinding new skills, but also learning this one. The skill of communication should never be neglected because you're gonna use it every day. You might as well learn how to talk how you want to talk. I'm not gonna say there's a right way or a wrong way to express your opinion, but find something that works for you and works for what you want to do with your life. And let's get into that too. What you want to do with your life does not have to dictate what skills you learn, but it should dictate what you take from the skills you learn, right? And I know it's very hard to find a calling. An easy way, I think I've already done an episode on how to find a calling on this. I think it was the Puku episode actually. But an easy way to find a calling, I'll just give a little Cliff Notes version. You just gotta do what you would do if you had no money. Or if money was not an issue, you just have to do what naturally comes, you know? When it's a day and you're completely free and nobody's calling you up and um, you need something to give you energy that's not a person, what do you do? What do you do? And that's a different answer for everyone. Um, Hopefully it's not sitting on the couch watching TV, but if it is, there's ways to make that profitable. We are all storytellers, so tell your own stories or tell stories about the stories you watch. Everyone's got an opinion, so if you're a serial watcher, for example, just give your opinions. People go crazy for those interviews online, right? And I'm not telling everybody to be an online superstar. That's not the point. It's not about becoming super famous and making it make money for you and making blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. It's about doing something that's going to outlive you. It's about creating instead of consuming. Because in this life, we do a lot of consuming. Just the nature of the world we live in. It's very consumer friendly and it's designed to keep you in that state, that survival mode where you're just eating enough to survive. You're just consuming enough to survive. But we have to give ourselves energy by not only just absent-mindedly eating, developing. We got to produce. We have to produce. Especially as guys, I feel like if you're a girl, um, your production can be your network. Maybe what you produce is the energy that helps others produce. And I think that's okay. If as a girl you don't have, really crazy amazing hobbies, but you have a really good friend group who pushes you forward and, helps you do new experiences and learn new skills, that's fine. That's fine. Not everybody needs a hobby. It's not for everyone. But if you're in this sad, lonely space and you're like, I really want to improve things 2025, I guess you don't have to be lonely. But if you're in a sad space and you want to improve things 2025, you gotta look in. You gotta look in. And you have to do something. You have to create something. You have to create with the source from your soul. So I gave myself some furniture here from my main account. This is definitely the lyrics that were in the intro, so I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy. We have a couple of things I think you guys may have seen. I set up Chrono's house too, just in the off screen a little bit. I gave him some balloons. Balloons! I'm gonna give myself some balloons too. But we're just gonna be setting up. I did switch to the English version here, as you can clearly see. Yeah, little Tory Lane's line there. English is just gonna be easier for me to set up everything. I promise we'll go back to Japanese fully eventually here. But I'm just making it easier on myself a little bit. I do happen to speak the Queen's English. Crazily enough, I know. Barely, but I'm here. So yeah, that's the end of that chat. I just wanted to let you guys know. Oh yeah, and on top of learning new skills, I think I chatted about this a little bit back there as well. I'm just kind of rambling on. I don't do scripts. Fuck scripts. Maybe I should. Like I said, AI, very powerful. Very powerful for scripts. So if I do start doing scripts and they sound very stilted, like say some otherworldly being created them, you know what happened. You know what happened. But I'll try to make it as natural as possible. The good thing about this is that I'll only get better. Because that is my objective. It is not to get famous. It is not to get a bunch of money. It is not to prove something to someone. And take notes here, guys, because this is how you need to be with yourself in order to create a life that you want to live. Because I'm not going to lie to myself right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to myself. I don't live a life that I want to live right now. That's why I'm doing this. Because I want to be proud of my actions and my words. And I want to be able to look back and be like, yeah, I did that. I did that. Right now in life, I can look back and say, I mean, I did something. Was it the right thing? Who knows? But I did something. And I'm not going to say I regret doing things. I'm just going to say it's not enough. Just like Kendrick, it's not enough. I am nowhere near satisfied. I am nowhere near where I want to be at life. And when I look back, I just thought there would be more at this point. And it feels humiliating. It feels disgusting. Like I'm like less of a person, but to who, To who? Who cares? Nobody cares. Work harder. So I keep a lot of those feelings under wraps just because a lot of people won't understand them. They'll look at you differently if you come clean with those kinds of aspirations, to be better. So the best way to go about it is to just do your fucking work in silence. I've seen it myself. I've seen it hundreds of times. I've seen these people, like I've seen both sides. I've seen these people grow from nothing. Grow from a mustard seed, you know what I'm saying? And keep going. And then I've seen people on the other side just talk and talk and talk and say and say and say, and then they just stay in the same place. So I'm gonna change the generational curse. I guess it's not even a generational curse, because it's not really my generation. But I'm gonna break the curse in general. I'm just gonna break the curse. The curse of complacency. You know? It's not enough do shit. It's too much say shit. So that's going to be my main advice from this section here. It's to love more, do more, and say less. People don't need to know details. Most people don't care. And I think I've said this before, my little philosophy on conversations, relationships, whatnot, The thing is, most conversations we have with people are to do two things, maybe three things, but mostly two things, right? You're either trying to please the other person, you're trying to please yourself. Or here's the the tricky third one that doesn't really exist. You're trying to please both the other person and yourself. Or the group in general. If you're in a group chat or something. And the thing is, the horrifying truth is, most people don't care, and most things you say don't affect other people positively, or at least the way you want it to. I'm sorry to tell you, but that little compliment you gave to the girl on the street, you thought her shoes were really cool, probably did something. I know for me, when I get compliments from random strangers, it does give me a little bit of light, but I'm not going to say I've never gotten a compliment from a random stranger that felt so, like, empty. I'm like, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? I may have, like, smiled in their face and walked off looking all giddy, but, it really didn't mean anything. And you don't recognize how much your words don't really matter to people. Like, you still need to be a decent human being. You still need to fill in all the details with, modest considerations for their feelings and, them being a human being. But once humanity's out of the picture, the nuance, the detail doesn't need to be there for every random passerby or even like a random coworker or whatever. And going deeper than that, I know from my experience that sometimes getting compliments from even people I know very well does nothing for me. Like, come on, guys. Like, the eighth time your grandma says you're so tall or you're so handsome, it's not going to do anything for you. It's not. So then you think, like, why are they saying? It's to please themselves. It's to please themselves because they see that you are happy and that makes them happy. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, oh, these people just try to please themselves. How dare they? No, that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying you can rise above that. You don't need that external validation to make you happy. I'm going to go back to my superhero point. We are all superheroes with our phones. So if you need and require someone in your life, anyone in your life, to give you your happiness, when we have so many tools to amuse ourselves, so many tools to distract ourselves, so many tools to create our own happiness, like that, it just amazes me how crazy that is. So I'd say if you have to compliment someone, if you have to compliment someone, make sure it comes from a place of sincerity and it's not just to please your own ego. Because a lot of the times people give compliments and you don't feel it, something feels like off about it, whatever. It's just because it's coming from their ego. They don't really care about you. I'm sorry to say it, but they don't really care about you. The sad reality is that nobody really cares. Not one. You maybe have one person who cares. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I think too much caring is poison. That used to be my problem. I used to care a lot. Far too much. Far too much. You have to detach a little bit. Just from results. I'm not saying lay in your bed and do nothing all day. I'm just saying if you do everything you can and you try the hardest you did, you have to be okay with no one caring and getting no results. You just have to be okay with doing the work. You just have to be okay with the journey. And that's hard for a lot of people. We're very results oriented, you know? I mean, it's obvious we're so results oriented. I mean, think about it. And the only time people are going to react to what you're doing is when you have results. So you have to switch that in your mind and not only react to results as well. You have to react to everything in your life. Every tiny little bit of progression that you get, you gotta treat it like gold. I'm not saying like go out and party every time you get $1,000. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying value your time. Value your effort. Don't get pissed off that you stopped going to the gym for 3 days. Starting in January. Oh shit, January 27th to 30th, I fucking stopped going to the gym. Who cares? I surely don't. Nobody else does. Go tomorrow. Go to the next day. Go now. Nobody cares about your failures. They just care about that one win that you got. The results. But you can't be like that. You can't even like really focus on the results. You just gotta do the thing. You just have to do the thing. That's my philosophy to push forward here in the new year. I think truly a lot of people don't want it the way they say they want it. And you can tell not by how they win or by how hard they work or all that shit don't tell shit. All it comes down to is how they react to failures. And that's really what's gonna dictate if you're a winner or a loser in life. It's how you react to failures. Because winners focus on winning, and losers focus on the winners. We all have a choice on what we want to focus on. We all have a choice. I don't care if you're, oh, social media. It's a distraction. A distraction. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look up the definition of distraction. Yeah? It's a divert of attention. And attention is currency, baby. When you are diverting something, that means you are changing the direction of it. Imagine. I'm gonna give you guys a real funny scenario here, real funny analogy here. Now imagine if someone came to work super fucking late and they said, "It's not my fault I'm late. Somebody diverted my course. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I was in the car. I was driving, but somebody else did it. They drove me somewhere else and I had to take a different route. They diverted me." We have so much power in this world, in this life. So much power. And a lot of people just give it away. They're just like, take it. I don't want the power. Take it, give it away. Because once you have that power, I guess I don't know. It's powerful. I had a good word for it, but definitely left me. But yeah, accountability is so scary for people. So scary. And I don't think it should be. We got to start being accountable. We have to start just taking things at face value and being like, well, that was my fault. And the best way to do this, I think, is just to lead by example. I gotta own my mistakes. I gotta own my faults and flaws, right? But I really think these small things, like in this story, that getting to work on time is a choice. It's a fucking choice. And no one's making that choice but you. And once you are accountable, once you say, "Well, I'm not gonna be late to work anymore because it's no one's fault but my own," you'll realize how easy it is to take the steps to get where you want to be. Because that absolute power, that absolute control that you're gonna wield when you do this is going to push you in different directions, different directions of progress. Maybe you won't get better in one day. Maybe you won't get better in two. Maybe you won't get better in 5,000. Who knows? However many days it takes, we're not looking at that. We're measuring in decades, right? You just have to keep walking, Denzel Curry style. So I hope you guys are ready to start walking with me. I do want to do a remake of that song. I don't know what to mash it up with. Let me know if you know any good songs that mesh with Walkin' by Denzel Curry. That is a banger. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the little New Year's resolution chats. Here's the house, the finished house. We got all our slime balloons in and whatnot. We're starting version 2 soon. Soon. We're starting it here in January. So that's very exciting. Over here, the Titus Compass Quest, where we're going to do that. On the next one. So, everyone subscribe. Have a happy new year. Enjoy your January, and I'll see you next time.